Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. We like to kick it off that way. My name is Scot Mendenhall. Some say I'm too excited on a Wednesday. Sometimes people say my energy is just too much. I just am excited about what we get to do. We get to do live people talk about things we love to talk about. We get to talk to interesting people from around the world. I'm just stoked about all the things we have today. We have guests upon guests today. We stacked them today. We've never done this before, so it could be really exciting. It could be also a train wreck. But we have Jeff Adair. He's coming in to talk about this past weekend and his experience at the kicking off of the ORL season. How'd he do? What was it like? All of those gnarly things out there. If you missed the weekend and you're brand new to One Wheels and you just like, who are these people? We got pro one-wheelers come in. We got ALLIE and Kyle coming in at 3 o'clock today. And so we're going to talk about all the weekend stuff. We're going to talk about how they did, what happened. And so we're really, really stoked on it. We have Mercedes was going to be here, but she's getting her wisdom teeth pulled. That doesn't sound good. I'm joined by some of my best friends ever. It's so fun to be in the studio with my one and only ALLIE Mendenhall. How we doing?
I'm doing really good today. Hi, everybody.
You know, I was telling the kids the other day, I was like, hey, where's my bride at? Where's my bride at? And they took offense for you that I would refer to you as my bride, but you are once my bride, always my bride, right?
Once your bride, always your bride.
Yeah,
yes.
we got to teach kids that because they were really perplexed that I would look, hey, where's my bride at? It's just something.
Why were they perplexed?
They really just thought I married you, so now you're my wife, so I should be saying where my wife is. But bride, reminds you back where you're like, you falling in love and all those things.
As long as you're not like, Cinderella, da 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 da.
What? I don't understand the
maid.
No, my bride, the woman I fell in love with. Okay, this is not a love podcast. If somebody's like, what just happened? I thought it was about One Wheels. It is just introducing my wife of 21
Lovers
years.
on One Wheels.
Are we going 22 years?
22 years in May.
In May.
We're almost there.
All right, 22. Okay.
What up?
And then we got the one and only Lily, who is a new bride.
Who is a new bride?
I'm not a bride yet. Am I? I don't know how this works.
Yeah,
bride
you would be.
I feel very underprepared. No, I'm just kidding. Sometimes.
I would say you're a bride, right? Like you're his bride.
Eli
you're not
in the
a wife.
chat already called me a bride.
You're not the wife yet.
You're not the
wife.
wife.
Guess
you're
so.
a bride.
I'm a bride.
Okay, Lily had a moment this week. She showed up in the office without her wedding ring on, and she was really hurt by the whole situation.
Yeah, I felt bad.
She felt bad. It was her first, so everybody comfort her. But we're going to recap this afternoon, Let It Ride, okay? But before we get to that, little housekeeping things, if you didn't watch One Wheel, the company One Wheel, their latest podcast with Laser and Jack Mudd, it's way worth the watch. Jack talks about his first experience on the One Wheel. So it's just enjoyable. So go take a listen to it. They do have some Easter eggs at the end. Should I just...
No, go watch it.
Go watch it. We won't tell. They're going to answer questions
watching.
on the CPSC stuff, so they inform that at
nice.
the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
that's
also
fun.
talk about custom shaping, which they're talking about those things. So some information at the end. Just worth putting on. Go for a one-wheel ride. Listen to a one-wheel podcast. Maybe you're doing that right now with us in your ears. Great. We're grateful for you. And thank you for doing that. Recently, I have switched out my one-wheel rails to... the 357s, folks. Here is the debut ride of the 357s Golden Edition. Oh my goodness, I'm in love with them. Now don't ask me how many miles I got on it because I probably hadn't even put 1 mile on it because I was just on street. It's very wet. At least there's green grass there.
Trail riding
but I can't get in trails with it, so I've not tested it out. But on the street, I was going faster at a more comfortable speed on pavement than I ever have before. That's all I'm going to say for right now. We have a full review coming here shortly, and so we're stoked on those rails. We have the bash bumpers on it, which they fit nicely on there. We'll do a thing of like rep my ride or something. Last housekeeping thing, and this is big news for all of us in the one wheel. Nonetheless. We got a really special guest next week. We have the one and only Jack Mudd that's going to be on this podcast.
Woo! Yeah.
Sitting here letting us fire him.
Big fan.
We are huge fans. We've met him. The dude's genuine human being quality stuff, high grade premium. Just going to be so much fun to just sit and get to really know him. And so we'll figure out something on Instagram, like fire away questions you want us to ask him. We might ask him, but that's happening next week. So let's get to our first guest today because we have Jeff Adair for a short amount of time before he has to go pick up little Jeff. And usually we make him late, and today we say we're going to keep it short so that
we're doing a quick check-in.
We're going to check in with Jeff.
How it went?
Adair, how we doing, my friend? Are you with us? Can we?
What's up, guys?
There it is.
Hey,
Jeff.
Fantastic.
Jeff.
Great to be here.
No,
we always love having you here.
yeah, it's like having a good old friend on.
Likewise.
It's just
Yeah.
Jeff and I
Yep.
now. We've moved past the podcast style relationship. We've upped it to FaceTiming now.
I noticed that the other day. I came down in the office and I was like, "Who's he talking to?" And
It's
then I heard your
actually-
voice and I was like, "Jeff Adair."
Yeah, it's
on
actually kind of
FaceTime.
adorable.
Adorable Jeff. She literally
They're
says,
little buddies.
"Oh my gosh."
Don't be jealous, ladies. Okay.
I know.
Obviously, we're jealous.
Bromance is happening here.
I'm gonna
in
just
there.
start FaceTiming Holly.
My goodness. Just walk up the steps, you. Okay,
I do
okay.
that
We
already.
don't have a whole bunch of time to jack around right now, so we got to get straight to business. One, everyone wants to see the blue 357s. He just showed it to us right before we went live, but like, I know you just like, I just put them over here. Like, here, look at that. Oh, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
So good.
Those are pretty.
We're about to put some hex grip on this, so that's why that's not there.
Please
So
tell
we're
me you're going to put the blue,
underlay.
you're going to put the blue underlayment under?
Yeah, hex, and then I think I'm just gonna go some 2 mil in the front, and then for a minute I'm gonna have the pint hub here with the blue titanium available at
Ooh.
Walmart parts. But then we're gonna go to the gold wheel here shortly. Okay, the gold Tech Rails racing hub.
Nice.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
Nice.
Oh, you have me intrigued. Okay, so the first time I've ever gotten anything from onewheelparts.com came shipped very nicely. I was surprised to get the blue bolts that you guys sell that you just the titanium. They're in the box.
Nice.
Yeah. My kids all saw it and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I want those for my one wheel." And so they've all made it a list that they're going to order.
Look at him. Look at him.
See? It's like a little gold mine there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, I feel like I'm like Scrooge in the
Yeah.
that's
Keeping
like
it
not
all to
good.
yourself.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Well,
But,
I
you
just
know, I like to swim in it.
I like
There
to
you
swim in
go.
it. So yeah, you're like from not the Christmas Scrooge, but DuckTales Scrooge.
The dark
Where he
the
swims in
duck.
the gold?
Yeah,
The duck,
tail.
yeah. Uncle Scrooge, right when there was his name, Uncle Scrooge?
Never heard of it.
What?
DuckTales, yeah.
DuckTales, you got this girl.
It's 90s kid stuff. All right.
Yeah,
90s
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
I'm a
No,
90s
okay.
kid.
But here's the deal, Jeff, you got to understand, Lily just learned the other day what a marsupial was. So, just saying.
what year were you
Yeah.
born?
I feel like I said to. Okay, Jeff, Lily,
85.
or 85.
85.
So you were a 90s kid, like, because you were grown in the 90s. I was born
Yeah,
in
it was like
95.
5 through 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you ain't a '90s kid.
So
Lily was born. You're a
I'm
2000.
a 2000s
Yes.
kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Proud.
cartoon Saturday
Proud of it.
cartoon after or morning Saturday morning cartoons wasn't a thing by the time you were getting
Kind
running
of
here.
was.
In the 90s it was Saturday. If you didn't have cable, the only time you watched cartoons was on Saturday morning. That was just how it rolled. Okay, so those bolts are sweet. They look amazing. I told Legend I want them for my GT. I was like, sweet. And then I told him how much they cost. He's like, boy, I have to make decisions. That's the tough thing about the one wheel community.
You gotta make some decisions.
All the stuff that everybody's putting out is sweet.
It's awesome.
But like you got to choose. Like, do you want a Sure Start? Do you want these titanium bolts? Do you want this grip tape? All this stuff. It's
Well,
just like
I was just talking to Epic and just
You have
some
to
different
adjust
things.
all of those.
yes,
Yes,
it is.
you're right.
They got to get a job.
We were
Jeff.
just talking about some of the new features we're putting in at our trails here, and if stuff goes in the water, Epic's like, that's when you just get the Badger and you just waterproof your. And I was like, you better get a job because
Yeah.
you got to pick and choose all these things.
All right, Jeff, I got to pick your brain. We're gearing up into putting some sweet features into the Northern Garden Trails here. Do you think we're going to make a 200-foot dock that has wooden? It leans to the left and the right to get around some water on our property, but so it's 200 feet. That's a pretty long dock that you're going to ride on. Do you think 2 feet is too narrow?
2 feet wide.
2 feet wide.
I do not.
Because it's half the cost.
Now, okay, yeah, you're right. So we have kids, we have water under it.
Yes,
Big,
yeah.
Big part of it.
I see what you're saying.
If I feel like if I go to 4 feet, it doesn't mean you're still not going to ride off the thing. Or if you get freaked out yeah, I don't know if there's any way of protecting your one wheel from going off. 2 feet becomes a little bit more manageable. 4 feet.
It's expensive.
It gets if the budget's broken.
Someone
I would
says
go 2 feet. You gotta throw them in and make them, just get better quicker.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, Jeff. We're asking all the guests today.
You got some suggestions of going 2.5 feet.
2.5 feet. Scott, trust me, I'm a carpenter.
Yeah, but 2.5 feet. Now I'm buying 12-foot boards, and now I can't get as many in there, so it's still going to cost me more.
Go 2 feet.
So 2
6
feet.
inches.
I know, but it is a big difference.
I know it's a big difference.
It's a big difference. When you're going really fast, because we're not talking straight. You got to use berms to get around. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting, Jeff. It's not called the Northern Gauntlet Trails for nothing. It'll test you. Like our berm. You need to get up here and test this. When Austin rode our berm, I was telling him I was thinking about taking it down because I was like, it's not the easiest to ride. And he's like, no.
Absolutely not.
Don't tear that down. That is one of the coolest berms he's ever rode.
And I got to be honest, after watching some of the stuff this weekend, like, it's only getting more extreme of what people are trying. Yes. And so our berm is like extreme berm. So it's right up on the line of what everybody's doing.
Okay, so that leads us to the weekend, really. Okay, there was a wooden feature. Let's show Mercedes dropping in, Jeff, to kick it off. This was like towards the beginning of the race this weekend, right? That you had a race for a position. Here's Mercedes dropping in on one. It's got to be it doesn't come off. It's probably steep, but that's Mercedes flying in.
That's insane.
I think it looks like they're flying.
And then there's a wooden feature up here ahead. How wide was that wooden feature she's about to hit?
Probably 2 feet.
That may be, yeah, probably like at the very beginning, maybe even a little less than 2 feet, and then kind of lines out a little bit.
Yeah, because it looks.
Zach Zinn for building that.
Okay.
Who is that?
Zach.
He's a rider. Zach Zinn. We were kicking it all weekend.
Shout out Zach
from the Arizona crew. Yeah.
Shout out. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Man, Mercedes looks awesome
there you
on
go,
that.
Zach. Look, I got you some shout outs. Okay.
Yeah, Zach, we want to pick his brain because I want to know how wide that is. Like, now, you guys, it's more straight than turns, it appeared, and it widens out as it slightly turns as well. So, okay, that was the footage.
That was a fun feature.
And that feature was put in there to get you up onto another trail?
It was sort of to, like, it kind of bottlenecked us in for a second. So on actual, like, the third race day, they opened up a beeline where you could go around them if there was maybe 2 racers there and, third place came in and wanted to try to pass them. But yeah, that was like the who can race to that first to kind of maintain the lead, try to hold the lead, because it kind of forced you to, like, go in like in a single line.
So explain the race to us, how the week worked, because again, this was a very hard race to follow online. You just followed everybody to get multiple angles because everybody, like you, Jeff, you're racing, so you're not really trying to get content cranked out, and so it's just hard to understand. So can you, for us watching today or listening on the podcast, can you just walk us through what the weekend looked? And remember, you only got like 10 minutes before you got to roll, so you're going to have to give us the fast version here. Let's hear how did it look this weekend?
All right, so this weekend was sick as heck, dude. It was such a great experience. My weekend started last Wednesday, basically a week ago. And, I did a 16-hour road trip to Vegas. It took about 24 hours of sleep. And so right when I get there like at like 10 in the morning on Thursday. And I pull up to where the starting line is. And I see Bart Miller and Noah Mead sitting there looking at this hill. And so I walk down there. And as I'm walking down there, my stomach starts to kind of turn upside down because I realize that they're going to make us go down this thing fast. Like, not at speed because it'd be a little too fast, but you need to get speed, get all the way up to it, and then you got to feather it a little bit. Some people didn't feather at all. My vibe, my formula was a little feather around the side, but yeah, that was like the first thing I saw when I pulled up was this gnarly hill drop that I knew was going to be like the entertainment of the weekend that was going to become
Yeah.
the deciding factor of people's runs this weekend. And it made me think like, okay, this is the first race of the season. Every race is going to have something like this. So every year they raise the ante. So
Boy.
let's get it. It's going to be a gnarly one, I feel like.
Yeah, so let's put up that shot of the hill again as you're talking with Mercedes dropping in, just so people see. I mean, it looks daunting just on camera in the angle we're seeing here with Mercedes, but it's like you guys are going.
Can you pause it?
Yeah, we'll back it up and pause
Back and pause it a little bit.
Yeah, hit it again and pause it for Jeff. Here we go.
I want to show something.
All right, pause it. There you go.
Right, so there's two lines that you can pick from. If you're looking at that right there,
Yeah.
see that yellow flag in the middle or that white flag in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, towards the right.
Our left, like when we're looking up the hill, our left is the line I hit, and it's the line that you see Mercedes hitting there.
Okay.
Now, to the right of that hill is a more steep, faster line that if you hit that, it has so much steepness that it like rocket ships you, ping pongs you into the front of the line. In fact, Austin hit above 30 trying to come down that full force, and he nosedived on like at the bottom of the hill because when he got to the bottom, his wheel was spinning so fast it just couldn't even take it, dude. So, yeah, that's
Wow.
That's what's gnarly about that hill. There's even a gnarlier section that a few riders chose to hit. I was going to the left. I was hitting the same line that you're seeing Mercedes hit there because I felt like I could go into that with more momentum. The other one, I had to stop a little more because when you're coming up to it, you couldn't see the down. You couldn't even see the middle of it. It's kind of like that.
What?
It's kind of like a big roller coaster where you're at the top, you can't see
Yeah.
the middle, you only see the bottom.
Oh.
And so line A
I got
was that.
butterflies.
You couldn't even see the middle at all.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I just think even as you say that, people are just going, No, it's just like, whew. Like you just imagine the tail dragging or whatever. I think people get intimidated by hills and forget the way you ride hills is you got to commit and lean down the hill, but most people lean back into the hill, which makes your tail drag. So now you're fully committing, leaning forward. And we don't really have any footage outside of Tyler and his wreck. Everybody, we didn't want carnage, but here's Tyler going down that hill, like you're saying, and he just eats it. If we can put that on the screen here, Tyler takes the fast route. Oh no, that wasn't Tyler. Oh yeah, that is Tyler. He couldn't
I never saw this.
hit it again.
Oh my god.
That's the same spot that you were just saying. I mean, if he would have been a hero right there.
Yeah, but it almost looks
What
like he
happened,
comes.
Jeff?
Yeah.
What happened? What? Because he had it.
It looks like he
I mean,
comes
he
off
kinda-
the right line though. Like it looks like he comes
He totally
loses control a
Okay,
little
so
bit.
this is what happened. This is exactly what happened. Shout out to Tyler. Hey, Tyler, I need my $250 one-wheel gift certificate for second place. But this is exactly what happened. Tyler, James, or all of us, we go up and practice, right?
Can we watch
And then all of
it
a sudden it's like,
while-
all right, practice is over. Practice is over. You have to be ready to race. And so then you forget your line slightly. So you're flying up to this freaking A line, and you were practicing it about 30 minutes to an hour ago. You hit it a couple times, but you're fresh a little bit now. And so he just went a little the wrong way. And so he got because normally you would go hit it a little straighter. He kind of was going to his right and almost interfered with us, you know.
Yeah.
So he just hit it a little off kilter. He hit it a little wrong, and then we all do that because, like I said, it's like, yo, we were practicing, we were gonna do it the right way, but shit, in the race, heat of the moment, I accidentally steered a little to the right there.
Are you in
Where
this
are
heat,
you?
Jeff?
Yeah, what-
Are you in that heat?
Yeah, I'm in the front right there.
Front, okay.
It's Sam and Neil.
It's so hard.
So
One more
when-
time. I wanna
It's
see
so
Jeff.
hard to see online. Like, I knew that was Tyler. I don't know if somebody in the comment mentioned, but then I didn't know who
Dang,
else was
Jeff.
in the heat.
okay, and
So
the
Jeff
guy
comes in on the left.
What heat
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this for you, Jeff? Your first one?
No, day one, I had two races. Day one, it was me, Jafari, and the Flying Hawaiian. That was my first race. I got first place, and that got me to my second race of day one. The second race was me, Jafari, Neil. I could be off. So someone else. Anyway, I got second place. Jafari got first place. So that got me to the finals, which was the
Okay.
top 8. That was one of my races from my top 8.
Okay.
I raced 4 times in all on day 2.
So
Okay.
Austin coming in one of us, one of the we thought would be podiumed. He must have fallen on his first race then. When you speak of when he wrecked, first or second race.
He had a couple falls. The fall I was talking about a minute ago when he was trying to go down the mountain and freaking send it hardcore. That was one time, and then there was another time that and I didn't get to see it, and he'll know more because he was racing. But he came off and it still came back and won his heat. There is a story from one of his races where, he definitely was in third or fourth from a come off, and then he ends up coming back and gets all the way back to second, I believe.
Wow. Yeah, see, there's no footage of that. Well, and I'm not doing a deep dive on it, but there was nothing that I saw somebody putting that out there. Okay, so you get to the last race. Here's the men's final run. You can watch it with us. It's somewhere on Instagram I found this. We'll run this, and you can kind of just walk us through. You already said you got second, but here's the beginning of the race.
All right, so this is the last. No, this ain't the last one. But
that's not all of you in that? That's not your... See the names on there?
Just me and Jafari straight up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
That's so
cool.
though.
But this one's a cool one.
Was that it? Did it end right there? Let's hit it again from the tops.
So with this race, I knew that I had to get the whole shot every time to control the speed down B-line because some of these guys were going a little faster down the mountain than me. And so if I could beat them to the mountain and kind of hold their speed a little bit, and I kind of take the mountain how I want to take it. That was kind of pretty much my
nice strategy.
Where are you in that video?
My strategy on this particular mountain.
Jeff, who hits the scary side? The side we keep saying that's for somebody in that heat takes the B line. Do you remember who that was?
Dave, I believe Dave took it.
Dave Stewart.
Dave's, I think Dave.
Yeah, that guy.
And
David Neal.
Sam's in there. He took it.
It was Dave Neal, Jafari,
for
and
those
you.
For those that are at home going, who's Dave Stewart?
Dave was the only one I think that took that.
Dave Stewart's like the godfather around here racing. He's the OG, been around from the beginning, but he is the founder of the Function Wrist Guards. And so when you hear the name Dave Stewart, he's attached to the wrist guards that we love. And so it's cool to see that he's still racing and he's pushing. Is that the final race before the final between you and Jafari?
I don't think so. It was. Yes. No, that was it. It was the semifinals was me, Jafari, Neil, and Dave. Yeah.
So the top two went on.
One.
And then here's the race between you and Jafari for gold in second. The bottom two. I didn't know they split it with just the two of you. Again, those details are not on Instagram, so I'm glad you're giving clarity. Here is that race. I believe it's your final race against Jafari, and it's neck and neck. I mean, look, you're in the lead.
That's where I messed up right there.
Why? I see you wobble. You want to say hit it again?
I want to see it all.
And then you missed that feature right there. Here it is from the beginning. Well, halfway through.
Okay, so Jeff has
You have a lead.
He's saying it's right here.
Yeah, that's where I messed up right there.
Oh, you went wide. Is that what you mean?
No, so there was a couple races where I kind of played it safe, from basically that drop all the way to the end. I didn't necessarily play it safe, but I didn't hit the big drop because I had so much gap between me and second place.
Okay.
I just took it I wasn't full send, right? And so because I did that twice in two other races, and I didn't fail from it. I just I got the W or whatever. In this one race, I'm coming up to this drop, and I've wrecked on that drop. Bodie actually broke his collarbone on that drop. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it clean, and I'm gonna go to the side right here. And I didn't hit it with full speed. I was trying to keep it clean to make sure 100% I did not come off that board.
Yeah.
And so because I made that decision, Jafari, who's a badass, who's in second place, who's gunning for first place, he did not slow down. He did not make that decision.
Right.
He made the decision to okay, I see him kind of playing it clean. Let me just go a little harder now. And so when I made the decision at the top of that drop, by the time we both hit that gap, his decision, the consequence of what he had already done, he was winning then. He passed me right then. And so, yeah, I played it a little too clean and safe on that last run. But, dude, he's a badass. He deserves first place. I freaking did not get first place. So, unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbled.
It did. Second place got you some points.
Yes, sir.
Right? So you're going to be...
But shout out to Jafari, man. He's a badass. He was on an XR.
Yeah, I was going to say...
That's insane.
And he's 14 years old.
Shout out
We
to
need
Jafari.
to get this. dude on the
Jafari,
podcast.
14.
He's a rare breed. He is 14. He's from Hawaii. He's kind of a young OG in the game because his parents, his uncle, they've been doing it for a while. I'm pretty sure he's somewhat family with Jesse. And I think they all came together a couple years ago to the Dirt Surfers, and they were beating adults on pints was the story. So Jafari and his brother, cousin, dude, they are rippers, dude. They are going to be the next. They're next. They're here, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, but it'll be interesting as One Wheel Racing League drops points and where's everybody falling as we get a new bracket. That'll be exciting to see where you fall. I got to assume you got to be 1 or 2. You got to be 2, right? Because this is the first one worth points or anything, right? So since you finished second, you've got to be in second place in points. And then...
Well, in points, I would have the second most, I would think.
Yeah. So that's not a bad spot to be sitting. Jafari...
I'm pumped.
He
I'm
isn't...
ready to go to Oak City.
Yeah, that's the
I'm ready
next
to go to
one.
Oak City and crush it.
But the question is, how many races will Jafari be able to get to? Because he still hasn't locked in an ORL deal. He has to win more, too, because that was not a premier race. It was a sanctional race. So,
I was gonna
therefore,
ask that.
he doesn't get a direct bid into ORL from that win. Is that correct, Jeff?
Correct. And Jafari has some work to do. Jafari, unfortunately, he's not on the GT. And so he's fat as hell on the XR. But if he makes it to race for the rail,
You gotta be
that's
on
where
GT.
he's gonna have issues, and he knows that. I mean, it's not like I'm like talking smack. His dad is a badass, and is already probably in his ear saying, "Bro, you gotta learn the GT.
Got to go
When you get to
GT.
Yeah.
race for the rail."
And we've
You're
talked
gonna
about
need
that so many times. There is a learning curve on the GT for sure.
Well,
For you people that ride.
yeah, Holly, you're just sipping coffee over there talking like a commentator.
That's the best way to do it.
You always
right
got to
there.
have, you know how you watch like any sport, you always have like the
one that-
analyst that knows what they're talking about and then the person that just commentates
Yeah,
as
Chanel
a
West
sure.
Coast.
true
For
fan.
sure.
Yeah.
This is, Holly is just a fan of the sport.
You know it.
Jeff, we said we're keeping it short and look at us keeping it honest. We're going to let you go get little Jeff and I have to race around. It was a pleasure to watch you race.
See you in a month.
We will get you back on here to talk about the 357s or do some collab video as we drop our review on it. It's going to be pretty exciting to see where that takes me as a rider. So thank you so much for your time today, Jeff, okay?
Thanks,
Hey,
Jeff.
like always, guys, I really appreciate y'all. Thank you.
You
Bye,
are
Jeff.
awesome, bro.
Tell little Jeff we said hi.
Please do it. We'll catch you later. Bye. All right, everybody, that was Jeff Adair. The dude is a madman. He can ride like nobody's business. We had a privilege to sit there and just chat with him, catch up with his perspective of the race. He got second. He was bidding for first, but in light of what he's trying to do, he's trying to get to ORL. He's on his way for that quest. Today, we are jam-packed with the pro one-wheelers, our friends here at Scot Mendenhall and Friends. If you missed it at the beginning, came in late, man, and you're just not in the chat, you should jump in the chat. That's where it's at. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go find Jeff on Instagram and follow him and on his YouTube channel. Really cool news for us as a channel. Next week, we're going to have a guest. First time ever on this YouTube channel. We're going to have Jack Mudd, the Jack Mudd from One Wheel.
So exciting.
The dude is spectacular, one of the coolest human beings. It's going to be so cool to just see what he does besides make One Wheel look awesome, okay? And so he works for the headquarters. We'll have him in here. We're going to have a lot of fun. So that's next week here on our YouTube channel. We're pretty stoked about that. But before we get to there, we got some really cool people coming in. I believe they're
cool.
waiting. They are some of the
they're
most
already here?
interesting people. I don't know. Is there... It's just, man, there's the hilarious.
Wrapped up, full of fun.
Oh, yeah, they are the
They are
definition
fun.
of fun. If you go to dictionary.com and go fun,
You're
you're
gonna
going to
see these guys.
Allie and Kyle sitting there. They make one-wheeling look so much fun. They are also
always smile.
They are talented. They just were on a promo ad journey for Onewheel, so we're going to check up on what that looked like. You've already seen some of the pictures of ALLIE in it, in some flare pants, wearing sunglasses, leaning up on some doom buggy. So we're going to check in with this hilarious, amazing, one-of-a-kind couple. Would you please put your hands together for Kyle and ALLIE?
Woo! I knew they'd
fun.
be doing something like
Yeah,
that. I
that's all right.
totally
So
knew it.
cute.
I
You
knew
guys
it.
are adorable.
You guys are awesome. Kyle, I gotta
so
say,
cute.
right? It's great that you start that way. Ever since the interview with you two, my boys have been writing new words on their hands every day. Every day. They,
Right here.
yeah, no, it's great. No, we've been talking about what would you get? What would be your tattoo? And we're all, it's hilarious. They're doing what you just did, spelling new words. You're like, well, if I do this word over here and this over here, I can spell. So, great.
Fun.
People come up with new words all the time of what I can spell. Pretty fun.
That's awesome.
Fun is still the best one, though, I gotta say.
Yeah, and the fact that you can, like, they were talking about how fast you can do it, like when you did it in our podcast before. You just, yeah, you don't even think about it second nature. So, well done. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being on here. We did show the rug that you guys, I think, ALLIE, you posted the picture of the rug with your cat on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
sick.
showed the rug, but also your cat. That cat scares me.
But the rug was cute.
The rug was awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like when I saw a picture, he was looking into my soul. I felt like
He's judging you.
I felt like that.
Yeah,
But he's sweet. He judges, but he's sweet.
Okay, before we get into all the Onewheel stuff, can you just tell me? I've never pet a hairless cat. But like when you pet the cat, is like your hand getting stuck on the skin, like, or is it soft? Do you have to oil the cat's
soft.
skin?
Do you have to oil it?
No, he has like little micro hairs, so it's like almost like peach fuzz, but it looks hairless. Like you can't really, you can see hair on his paws, but when you touch him, it feels like just like suede almost.
Yeah,
Really?
Kind of like velvet.
Yeah,
like really
velvet.
soft velvet. Like
I thought it was cute.
I've never met one, so I hope maybe when you guys bring them to Dirt Surfers, and I'd love to get a selfie.
Traveling cat.
yeah, we should do
That'd be
that.
cool.
You should do that. It'd be like that cat would be so popular. And the other thing is, like, when you take them outside, do you have to put sunblock on them? These are the questions I've been wondering.
I don't know if they make cat sunblock because he can't eat the sunscreen on him, so I can't put regular sunscreen. But we took him out to the park and he got a little bit of a sunburn. I had him like covered in though, like he had his shirt on and he was under a blankie, but his forehead got a little red.
His whole face was all red.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Lily,
God.
come at me now. Lily was giving me crap just a second ago. Did you not hear that? Oh, this guy asking about sunblock. And look, I'm concerned about the kitty.
No, I was laughing about the oil. But that's a lot. You guys, that's a lot.
Thank you for entertaining me with those questions. These are just things I needed to know, as you're the
I'm gonna
only person
see-
I know with that cat.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
see if
same.
there's any cat sunblock.
Oh, you
and
know
if I
there
can
is.
find it, I'm gonna send it to you.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to send him a fur coat.
I'm gonna
Poor
send
guy.
I'm gonna
Missing
send
out.
you. I'm gonna send you guys
Yeah,
a
so
hairless
many-
cat.
What's that, Kyle?
He has so many cool outfits. Benji, ALLIE always gives him like a nice coat to wear, like
Yeah,
a turtleneck or
He
like
has
a
a
nice
plaid
flannel.
shirt, a
Yeah.
plaid collared shirt.
Nice.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Genius. Okay, thank you. That's for everybody who's not seen her cat. Just go follow her on Instagram, and you'll see her cat. You'll not miss him. Just there. It's the animal with no fur. Got to be
He's
the
always
coolest
on my
cat.
story.
Always on her story. Just go. You'll see heart all of them with the cat on there. Okay, so you guys been busy since the last time we talked with you.
So
mean-
busy. Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Underground in Austin, and then I immediately came back to go straight to what were we just at?
Let it ride.
Let
too.
It Ride too. I'm getting them mixed up. I'm like, there's so many events.
Yeah.
But you also went in and filmed some ads with Onewheel.
Oh yes, I forgot about that. There was that, then Underground, then. But yeah, we went to we met up with some of the Future Motion people in Arizona, right outside Phoenix.
Oh
and
man,
then
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
we did do that.
I'll be your memory bank, guys. I'll just let you know what you've done.
I can tell you once you bring it up. I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that. Then Jack rented some like ATV. Are those ATVs? Is that what they're considered? They're like the Polaris Razor thing.
Yeah, right.
nice.
They're much bigger than an ATV, but they probably, I don't know. They're just big. They're much bigger.
ATVs. He was like, we're going to go ride ATVs. And I was like, sick. We all get our own like ATV.
It was huge. They were huge.
But no, we only had like two of them. And
He flipped it.
Yeah, I ended up flipping it.
Yeah, see, like this stuff.
We're trying to get this shot of me doing like a toe spin, and then like at the same time him kind of doing like a little like a burnout thing.
I was doing like a donut, yeah.
Yes.
And we just couldn't get the timing right, so he kept redoing it, and then he kind of just like kicked up all the dirt in his area, so it just kind of stuck, and he just flipped.
Yeah, I was just like, I've never really driven those before, and like I don't have like crazy experience doing donuts, but they're like, you want to do that? And I was like, yeah, of course I want to do that. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You're going to let me do that?
Yeah, it's not mine. If I break it, I don't have to pay for it. Yes, please.
Yeah, I was like, I'm all in.
They knew he would do that.
Yeah, they definitely knew. But they got some sweet shots of it flipping like right under Allie's legs. She was doing like a toe spin. Here, where's my hand? She was doing like a toe spin, and you could see me flipping it like right through her legs.
Right through the.
I hope they release some of those things. I've seen only,
awesome.
Because when you guys weren't here last, you said you were going to go do that with them. I've seen them use and email some of the pictures from that shoot. Like, Allie, you're standing there. I think you're leaning on one of these said ATVs, but much larger. You're sitting there leaning on it or something with the one wheel. Looked like an amazing time.
Picking up the rocks a little bit, like skirt through there.
Yes.
Looks like you're bullets
Yeah,
with the rocks.
Yeah.
Rocks out.
Now, Kyle, I've seen the pictures of her, but why not you? Why is she stealing all the limelight?
I just recently saw, I think, a post of me. I'm like doing a backside drift, like in some rocks.
The drop too. You did the.
Oh,
but that
yeah.
was on Instagram. That wasn't on the.
Yeah, they did some Instagram clips of like I did like a bonk, like into.
Oh yeah.
Floating dock. Yeah.
Yes.
I had some shots of that, so.
Yes.
That was cool. I was pretty stoked that Jack wanted to do that kind of stuff, so.
It's so much fun to have somebody follow you around and take pictures of what you're doing. Like, Kyle, you know how it is. If you want to go create a video right now, you've got to go set the camera up. Then you do your thing, and then you got to go back. Did I get it? Oh, no, I got to back that. Like, it's so much faster with somebody else just holding, pointing, and go. So that's got to be pretty fun.
100%.
The footage.
It's a lot of fun. We went we went to the ATV place, and then we just kind of went around the city in different spots of Arizona and got different clips. I like that they're showcasing more of like doing tricks, and it's a big part of one-wheeling.
Yeah, we were in Tempe, I think, mostly for the trick stuff we were doing, and that was really cool. Tempe is super cool to ride around, and like they just got a lot of features that are just naturally there that you're like, these are wild.
That's awesome.
It does feel like, as you say, Allie, I've noticed that trend for them, that they are starting to post more of not just commuting on this thing, that you can adventure out and do tricks, and really wherever you are is your playground. That's what it feels like. What they did one with Tyler the other day. I forget where he's just flicking the dirt a little bit, the slide. Did you see that? It's like, okay, you're starting to
learn how to drift or something.
Yeah, drift. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I think that's great. I think they called it power slide or drift, right? It was one of the two.
Yeah. I think it was drift for sure.
I mean, it looks sweet.
Either or.
Yeah.
It looks so fun.
At the end of the day, and it's an easier introductory to a trick, right? Like the stuff you guys are doing. That's not just for beginners. I mean, you jumping over a car, Kyle, with your one wheel, that's not introductory.
I actually have a tutorial that's coming out next week, how to jump a car on a one wheel. So.
Awesome. I've been wanting to learn.
I'm just playing.
I'm just playing. She's like, what? We showed the picture a few weeks ago on the podcast of you doing that. And I asked everybody and those online to go, would you do this? Would you first, if you remember back to the video, I don't know how long ago it was when you jumped the car, but you just see the launch ramps and you're just jumping in the air. air. And I was like, would you girls do this? Would you just jump
No.
off the air? They were all, no.
We
I
were
go,
all like, no.
and then I was like, how about if you just put a car between there? Would you feel better about it? And they're like, absolutely. And then there you are just mobbing over it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's sick.
The car being in the middle of it was easier than gapping it with nothing there.
Why?
Because there was nothing to fall on, and with a gap, if I
You
fell,
have the ground there.
yeah, the ground was like 4 feet away from me, where
I
the car
see.
would be a lot
Just
closer,
slam on the car.
and the car would like catch my impact.
Yeah.
Like, probably
That's so
dent.
true.
Yes.
So true.
Yes,
If you like shorted the gap, you'd like
Oh.
smash into the landing ramp, and yeah. So,
But
having
I-
the car there was
was
so much safer.
no way. I feel the difference because I feel like my body will heal. The car doesn't. Somebody is paying for that car that is now has my body print on it.
Touche. That's a good.
That's where I was. That's where I was cringing. I was like, not that you fall, or I'd be like, no, take the car out. My collarbone, my knee, I might be 5 inches shorter when I fall, but at least I could maybe be stretched back out. I
Oh
don't.
my God.
But that car, I just
So
don't feel
silly.
like I don't. That wasn't your car, right, Kyle?
It was not my car.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so like now I
Found
say that again, Ellie.
it's a random car they found. They just
Yeah, I just put 2 ramps right that happened to have, I think, flight fins on the license plate. Nonetheless, it was all coincidental. But I feel like, hey, I'm sorry I dented your car, just doesn't fix it. I feel like I'd feel indebted, like I'll give you what I have to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd feel
But
that.
nonetheless, that is a sick. Yeah, I'll give you my spleen. Oh, wait. I can't. Jokes,
Oh my
jokes,
goodness.
jokes.
That was hilarious.
Okay, let's not. Last time we talked a lot about your spleen. Go watch the other podcast.
we're like maybe not 30 minutes on injuries.
Yes, not
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Not today. We'll just glance right by it and move
I was
on.
gonna say the injuries do not help the.
No, stop talking about it. Let's move on. Okay, let's get to this weekend. Kyle, I'm gonna start with you. Did you like? And I'm gonna ask genuinely because I was telling Jeff, hard for me to follow who's doing what or how everybody's doing over the weekend outside of if somebody posts something. So I didn't see much footage of you. So it's not a question of anything other than did you race this weekend and how did you do? Because I just. Again, it's hard to watch somebody's random footage and go, "Oh, that's Kyle flying by,"
Right.
because it's just
Yeah,
It's
it was
recognizable.
I did race, for sure.
okay.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't.
did race. I didn't do that hot in the race though. That's for sure. I only made it to 2 rounds, and then I got knocked out. I just chose a bad line. I kind of hesitated for a second at the top of the hill. And
Okay,
then,
let's run the
yeah,
hill footage back for you. We're going to run Mercedes for you, okay? This is her just running down. It's not a race, but you just can see and you can kind of explain to the viewers what went wrong for you. Jeff shared some of that. So here is.
So I was always taking the line on the right, not that line that was just
The more
so I was
difficult.
always- yeah, it was flatter. It was just steeper, so it kind of shot you out. And I was always
Yeah.
practicing that line, and I had taken that line my first run. But right where she is now, I kind of paused on my second run because I was figuring that everyone in my heat was gonna go for that A line. So I just had the thought, I'm gonna do the B line. I'm gonna choose it, and I'm gonna see if I can see what happens, pretty much. Which I shouldn't have done that. I should have just done the line of practice and done that A line. And
Okay.
I kind of zigzagged at the top, ate my time, and then they were all at the bottom, so I shot down. And then I was just trying to play catch up at that point. And then I took a spill off of the kicker, the double feature drop into the downhill.
Yeah,
slope.
so we'll run we have Jeff Adair's run with Jafari. Is that right?
Yeah.
So we have their ride, and so you can explain where it went wrong for you as well using their footage. For those listening or watching, this is not Kyle. This is so here you go.
It's funny because the round I got out on was with Jeff Adair and Jafari moving on. Yeah, right there, that gap.
This gap right here.
This gap wasn't there until the finals.
Oh,
So-
really?
But yeah, so right before that gap, the double drop, I just kind of fell off of that. I was like almost catching up to third place, and then I just kind of started tail scraping and twisting, and then it just threw me off my board. And then I got off my board there. Yeah, like
So that
right
double
there.
gap.
Yeah, that double gap. So I sent it off the big one, and then it just threw me off my board, and I was already in last at that.
Dang.
So I was like, oh, dang. And then it was Dave Stewart who was in third, and then he ended up taking a spill right around the next corner. So I just kind of was like, I gave him a little smack on the butt. And was like,
I saw that.
Yeah,
That
I was like,
so funny.
I was like, let's go, Dave. Come on, let's get through this. And so,
We're like, did he just hit his butt?
That's awesome.
I learned my lesson. Yeah, I did. A little jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
for
learned
you,
my lesson on that for sure.
so that drop that we're seeing, is that into flat or down into a hill? Again, it's so hard on video, right? So
Yeah.
is it, were you going flat or going into a transition?
Yeah, video really doesn't do it justice, especially for this course. Like that beginning hill is like such a monster steep hill, and then that drop, it was about 2 feet, and then it was like divoted out too, and then it was into the down slope.
Yeah, it was pretty much like a single spot you could hit from the big drop,
Yeah.
and because it kind of like went down like that, so it'd be uneven if you landed anywhere else.
Yeah, so it was like the drop, and then there's the divot, and if you didn't like send it to the like bottom of that little hill almost, then you're gonna be landing in some sort of divot. So it was like you had to hit it centered and like straight on, or you had to like plan for your landing, you know, of that. And so landing into that downslope, especially at like higher speeds, your tail wants to just start like scraping on the ground, right? I think you had mentioned that earlier in the podcast. It just starts scraping, and so it's hard to kind of control that. And once you start twisting, like I started twisting this way, and I'm like sliding down still on my tail. It's so hard to like bring it straight back, and so I was just down after that, and I was like, whatever, let's go.
Let's go. Well, I mean, if you would have watched Tyler's drifting or whatever we're calling it video, it'll probably help you get right. No, I'm just messing.
Dude, it would have been perfect. I should have like just had a little touch up right before the race.
Yeah. I think where Tyler crashes, speaking of Tyler, he crashes, and again, he's going on the line that you are saying you had practiced most of the time on, right? So everyone, if you're new and you didn't catch Jeff's interview at the first part of the podcast, here's Tyler's crash, and I believe this explains it, right? That's the line you said you normally were taking?
He just came off of it.
That is the line, but he kind of cut to the right, little like right there. He cuts to the right a little too soon. Like he cuts real far right, and that probably threw him off. But he probably hit something that made him do that. Like he's scraping at the top, you can see already.
Yes.
So he came into it. Falling so funny.
He just flies.
Yeah, he's so good on that.
Yeah, this is the only.
It's funny. That line right there, it's a gamble. It felt like for me because it shoots you out so fast. And all the bottom down there, you can't tell, but it's pretty chunky. And so your board gets choppy, like you start bouncing around. And when you're going that fast and like your nose wants to be down almost and bouncing in that, it's just like really hard to control and pretty scary.
Wow.
But so that's kind of why I was like, let's see what happens if I take that B line. And it was not the move. The A line was the move.
So did you have anything, like other videos that I've seen from all the riders, you guys are bouncing like the whole, it felt like your wheels were just like Super Balls the whole time. Did you guys have anything to lock you in on your board, or are you guys riding without anything?
It was definitely a benefit for people to have like flight fins or overlanders on this race. At first, the whole time I was riding, I didn't have anything on my board till finals, I think, is when I put them on.
Yeah.
But I borrowed some flight fins from Cody Lang and used his fins, and it does help you hold on. You know what gave me the motivation was Jafari, because I was like, how is he flying? He's small.
Small.
Not bouncing off the board. Like I feel like I hit those bumps and you can see me bouncing, but you can't see him bouncing at all. And someone was like, flight fins. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put some fins on these boards.
Nice.
So you didn't race. Okay, hold on. That's the cardinal sin in racing, right? Don't do anything new, especially on the last race. And here you are. I'm going to put something
And
I've never.
that's where I messed up too. I did do something new on my final heat, which caused me to fall off the board. But the flight fins, I think, were a good change to do because it wasn't really hindering me. Really, it was more just going to help me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't have fins on my board either, but I took a run later in the day with my XR that had fins on, and I was like, that was a dummy move. I should have for sure had like fins on, especially for that course with the bounce.
Did anyone not have the? So you guys mentioned the land surf ones, then flight fins, and then overlanders. Sorry. And then why can't
Control freaks?
The control freaks. That's what I have. Or control freaks. Do you know what those are?
Nice.
I don't know what those are.
I just think I saw them at Let It Ride, actually.
Oh, are those the little things on the corners?
No, that's what I don't know. That's Jeff. Jeff has that little puck, right? Like right on the corner. I don't have it in here. They just fit on the. It's a bit like the Overlander things, but much smaller and lighter, nonetheless. If you don't know what they are, that's what I chose to try to use. I just surprised not to see.
I think having something in the front, like the nose and the tail like that, like Overlanders, just to keep your feet from at least sliding off, because that happens a lot where your feet will just slide.
Yeah.
But having the whole entire, like the Overlander hook or the flight fin hook, it's definitely a little more intimidating to have your foot, locked in place.
Locked in, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's a different style of riding, but it helps a lot, especially for all that chunky and like that bounciness.
And I think on all of these, like I get asked all the time because we try all these things. Like this isn't one size fits all. Like flight fins are great for those that really are comfortable with their feet closer to the wheels. Mm-hmm. Like some of my kids, they ride like
really tight.
Like they have to have a fender on or their shoelaces get sucked into the wheel. So they are great with flight fins. They're not good with the Overlanders or control freaks because they have to redo their stance to get wide. And so I think that's some of the things for everybody when you're looking at where's your feet sit. I think some people do a flight fin on the back and Overlander on the front because their feet go forward so much. So those are
I've
just
always
cool.
found that flight fins with extenders on have been like the best fit. I always thought like without the extenders, you're a little too close to the tire, and then with Overlanders, you're like sitting in this
So far
pretty
back.
wide stance that like you kind of lose control because you're sitting farther away from the center of like the wheel. So like the closer you are to the center, the less movement you have to do to control it. So when you're like sitting super far wide, you have to maneuver that board like a lot more than you would if you were closer.
Oh man,
but,
that's
when
good.
you're too close, obviously it's like feels awkward and weird.
That's
so
smart.
to me, flight fins with extenders is like the perfect stance to be like right in the middle of your foot pads and still have like all the control that you need. So.
And I think during racing, it's not for me, when you have flight fins on, you're not always locked in. It actually doesn't help you. And like, for instance, the gap that they added on the finals, when I was practicing it, I was using my fins too much and it was slowing me down because I was pulling the board instead of just coasting over. And so I would lock in my feet to go down the drop and then undo my lock to coast over that. And that's just a lot of like the whole time I'm on the board, I'm moving my feet around, but that's because I have small feet. And even when I don't have the flight fins on, I'm like, if I see a turn coming up, I have to move my feet forward. So if I'm going to do like a front side turn, and then I have to shift them back to like, so it is kind of hard, like without the fins for me in certain races. Like those berms, I can just turn into because you can just pull your toe up and lock in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one with what she's saying with like berms and like turns, especially when you're going fast. You can like pull against the fins.
You can like sit into it. It's crazy.
Yeah, or like lean into them.
Nice.
Yeah, when we were at Dirt Surfers a little bit ago, I did a run without anything, and then I put on the Control Freak in my time. I mean, by a minute or plus, just by having that in the next run because I didn't have to slow down as much.
Yeah.
And
it's a mental game just know it's there, and you're like, it just helps your riding because you're like, oh, I'm locked in, I'm solid. Let's go. That's it. This is a full send moment right here.
Yeah, they probably, what do they call that? Placebo effect? It
Yeah.
probably doesn't actually do anything outside mentally makes me feel better. So Kyle, before we move on, we got footage of ALLIE, your last run against Mercedes. But Kyle, like you already are in for Race for the Rail this year, right? You've got a bid in.
I'm already in, and so I think that's why I like going into like Let It Ride and these events. I definitely go into like heavily like fun mindset and just go see where you stack with the racing and everything. And so like this one was a huge probably awakening for me. Like I haven't been ripping trails too much, and I haven't really been thinking about racing a lot. You know, I've just been doing a lot of other stuff recently, so it's time to get back into that mindset, baby.
Yeah.
You know, Race for the Rail's coming up here, and you know we need a second-time winner. You know,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's won 2 times in a row, but
Except for this year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Nor has any couple, right? We've not had.
Not had the couples win.
Not Race for the Rail.
I'm just saying, you guys could do that as well. It felt like Mercedes and Austin were going to do that last year, and that didn't happen. It's crazy. And so I feel like it's a race of the couples now too. Like, can you be the first couple and dual podium? Oh,
That'd be awesome.
Woo! The storyline's being made.
I was talking to Austin about like that same thing, so that's pretty funny. At Let It Ride, it was just like, man, our girls are so fast. Let's go. It's gonna be a battle between you. And me.
That's awesome.
It's the race inside the race that matters, really. That's what it is, a race inside the race. So, Kyle, where do you sit then? I know that at least before we came on the show, they hadn't got any rankings out or anything, but where do you think you're going to fall in the ranking for this year outside that race?
I hadn't thought about the ranking, but I guess since I won, I'd be at first, and so I didn't even place or get final. So I'll probably be lower on it, probably around. I would think 8th place, maybe somewhere around.
Is that what you finished this weekend in?
No, I was probably past. I don't think it was like it was.
I think
probably
they're doing
past
like a point system now, though, and not the same.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're gonna be doing the.
No one does yet.
Yeah, I know.
knows.
It's always so confusing, so I just wait until I see how
Yeah.
they do
Really
it.
mean anything, anyways.
Well,
I was
this
like-
year, though, there's 2 winners. You're going to get the Race for the Rail winner, like Kyle did last year, and then you're going to have the points winner. And
From
that
all
one
the
is going to
races.
be given at the last race of the season out in South Carolina. Yeah, is that right? Yes. That's in September, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that's the last one.
Right, so that race, whoever's winning the point races will be crowned the points winner.
Is that a separate prize purse? I meant.
I don't know. That's where I get confused. Like, why does it matter if you get the points? Don't you still want to be the ORL champion? I think that's the... But they're doing 2.
How many points do you get for the ORL champ?
I don't know.
I mean, that goes towards your points, right?
I'm like
You
these...
think that'd be more?
It's a good thing you
I
guys
can
race
t-
for fun.
Yeah.
It's a good
You
thing.
can see on Allie's face. It's a little
She's like,
confusing. It's like,
"Eh."
what the crap is happening here?
I don't ever know what's going on. I just show up to the races and do what I can.
Obviously,
There you
you
go.
do well.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I like how I just show up, do my thing, and then people take pictures of me, and then I'm posted everywhere as the model for Onewheel.
You do it well, Allie. You do.
Yeah,
it
we all
well.
bow to you. Thank you,
I know what
guys.
I'm doing is the funny thing.
We are.
That's how she's humble.
Well, hey, hold on. Let's bring your cat back into the picture. Your cat is like what, like the pharaohs and all of them had in the Egyptian time. So you're pretty much like some royalty or godly figure in the Egyptian culture with your cat. You're just petting your cat like I'm gonna win it all and just make it look like I'm having fun.
Race through the rail with him in my hands.
Yeah, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, hold on. If you do that, Lily will get the your cat as a tattoo on her shoulder.
No, I will not. Sorry, Allie. But no.
I tried, Allie.
You can do that, Scott.
I tried that. I'll tattoo it on Icon, my oldest daughter. Is that
She's
okay? Is
probably
that
like,
inappropriate?
You have to do that. Yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah,
I
you
have to do
have
it.
to do
Oh,
it.
my goodness.
Awesome.
That would be awesome
Oh.
on you.
Okay, let's move on before that becomes a real thing and everybody forces me to get that cat like tattooed on my calf or something. Oh my goodness.
Everyone in the chat, tell them these guys.
Yeah, get
Let's
the calf.
go. Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course they're all going to say yes to this madness.
Of course they are.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Moving on. To ALLIE, you now into the race for the weekend. It seemed you did it pretty good, except for you had a reoccurring thing that happened to ORL. What's the thing that keeps reoccurring for you that you had to ride through?
Well, my shoulders just keep popping out of place for some reason. So
Sound effect and all.
I dislocated this shoulder the day before Race to the Rail. Okay, it's decently healed, still feels a little weak, but whatever. This shoulder, though, a week before Let It Ride, I was doing a no slide behind Kyle, and he didn't land it, and I ran into his board and landed on my armpit, and I dislocated it probably worse than my Race to the Rail one. Like, it was very painful. And I didn't go to the doctor or anything. Because I knew to pop it back in place, like how to do it. And I just put it back into place, and I'm pretty sure my rotator cuff's a little messed up. Yeah. But I was more upset that it's a week away from Let It Ride, the first race of like that counts towards Race to the Rail and all that, and I'm not gonna race because I literally I had it in my head like I need to take it easy because my body it hurts, and we show up Thursday for Let It Ride. I get out of the car and I'm like, I think I can race. Every time I was just like, I'm just gonna work on like taking it easy, which I still have yet to do, like when I'm in the middle of a race, to cut it back a little so I don't fall. But I get to in the moment, I sometimes push it too hard. And so
she's just thinking speed.
I'm just
more
thinking
speed, more speed.
So I kind of failed in my mission, but I did pretty good, so I'm not too upset at myself. But I'm still trying to learn that to focus more so I don't get, So where I fell in the finals, I had been practicing both the drops where they did the double kickers. They had the pro kicker, which we had to hit in the bracket races, but on finals they opened up both kickers. And the fastest line was to hit the smaller kicker and just shoot on the left side because it's really smooth, and then you can hit the 2-foot gap that they built. So I had it in my head, I'm gonna hit the smaller ramp. Well, I'm tailing behind Mercedes, and she's hitting the ramp, and I don't want to hit it right after her just in case she doesn't land it, and I felt like I was gonna have to slow down a little. So
we have the footage, ALLIE, not to interrupt, but we have the footage so you can walk everybody through while you're.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's roll. I think it's Mercedes. We titled it Mercedes Wins, but here is the two of you.
Yeah, so falling behind. I felt so comfy. I was like, I'm going to either finish right behind her or take my opportunity where Jafari passed Jeff. That's where it was going to be my opportunity to try to pass.
I guess that's all we have, unless we have another video of that. So.
No, unless it's on the live, I don't know if they got my dislocation happening. But I pretty much, on the double kicker, there's the B line around where you can skip the ramps.
Yep.
And I never hit that, ever. Not even during practice, because I'm going to hit the ramps. Well, during the race, I decided to flow into the left side and miss the ramps.
Mercedes was right there.
She was right there, so I thought it would be faster. I could just flow into the left and then stay on the left side because it's the smoothest line over there. And when I went to go hit the left line, it's uneven, the terrain, and I was not expecting that. And I actually have a video of the fall, I think. But I kind of just hit it and it tilted my board to the side, and then my board ended up behind me, tripping me, and then I leaned my arm back and fell on my armpit again. And I just can't bear weight on this arm, so I was trying to not land on my arm the whole weekend, and I lasted till Sunday.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And I did take my first heat before we got down to finals. It was Mercedes and I and Raquel and Brenda, and I took a really bad fall on the big hill, but it didn't hurt or anything. I just I definitely did a front flip. I've never done a front flip on a one-wheel.
Wow.
But I did it, and my face went into a big, I'm glad it wasn't rocks. It was a big pile of dirt, and I saw my face flying into it, and I just dirt all in my mouth, all in my nose.
Oh.
I once I got up, I saw it was Mercedes, Raquel behind her, Brenda, and then I'm all the way in last, and it's top 2 that go on. So I was like, okay, I'm done, whatever. So I rip off my glasses because I can't see anything, and then I just start like going, and then I pass Brenda up, and then thankfully Raquel didn't land the kicker thing, so she was off her board, and then I went, or the 2-foot kicker, yeah. So that's where she got off the board, and then I was like, oh my God, I still have a chance in this. So then I passed her up, and I had plenty of space. So it was
That's awesome.
I was just lucky to catch back up right there.
How wild was it?
Amazing.
Well, how wild was it to have Raquel back in? Like we were talking last week, will she come back? No one. She had not been making any mentions, at least on social media, that she was. And then here she is. She shows up, places 3rd, which is pretty
awesome.
Yeah,
pretty
she's
cool.
good.
So she
Yeah,
still got a little in the tank.
Oh yeah, she's still there for it. I think she's definitely probably a bit more cautious because she has a baby. But I could tell she was being more hesitant on the kickers and stuff. And especially after seeing like Bodie break his collarbone and stuff, like it's pretty gnarly. That's a gnarly race to do as your first one back from like an injury and having a kid. So I could tell she was a little like nervous on that, but she handled it well. She was cleaning it for the most part.
It's definitely a scary course to like
Looked
Dude,
be
like
like
yeah.
a first race or like to come back to racing.
it looked like
Yeah,
it.
that hill was so scary. Like no matter how many times I hit it, I did not get over it.
Yeah, there were people that stood at the top of the hill for like hours. That
Like just staring
I
at it.
bet.
before they got actually sent it down it.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. My first run down it just practicing, I didn't land it, but I like ran. Oh no, I did land my first one, but then I tried to practice again, and I never tumbled down it until the race. I just like kind of would get off my board and run. But the race is way different. You just kind
Of course.
And I keep trying to tell. I was trying to tell the kids as they were watching over my shoulder on Instagram and stuff. I go, I know the hill doesn't look gnarly, but
No,
the way it just is. Like if you can tell in video that it's a hill,
Yeah.
you know it's a big hill.
Way bigger. Yeah.
That's how I've always.
Well, that's what a lot of the chat was saying. Go ahead, Allie.
Looking at it, I couldn't believe that they were letting that in the race at first. Like I was like, wow, we're stepping things up. And then, but once you hit it, you're like, okay, it's not so bad. Like once you hit it, it's just
Once you hit it from the front, like where you start, because there's a good probably like 100 feet of runway before you have to go down the hill. So for all the pros, we're like mobbing into it. That's what's scary. You know, like riding down it is chill. But if you're like, you know, going 15 and sending it down that hill at 15, you're coming out of the bottom at like 30.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I did feel like at watching that, and that's beginning the season, I just feel like
What's to come?
like the next events have to step it up because if you're gonna just keep it status, it's like man. I mean, I just feel like you got to do something that elevates it to the pro level.
She's like, no.
I feel like I'm kinda okay with the level of gnarliness that it's at because it's pretty gnarly, honestly. And it's, I'm like, if we're getting past that, I don't even think the one wheel can take much more of that without causing much of a danger to the riders.
I don't disagree. Like, I think there's a fine line in the sport, right, of any of these extreme sports where it's entertainment to watch, but you're losing good riders to be entertained. Like, to hear that Bodie broke his collarbone, I didn't see the fall, but just like, okay, that guy doesn't normally take a fall and break. Austin falls,
And
cracks his helmet. You're just starting to go, okay, these are some of your top contenders.
Right. It might be a little much.
That don't make it. Now, these guys are also pushing the envelope.
Right.
There's going to be a fine line in it. At some point, it's just like, nope, these are the courses. Let's see how fast you can make them because you I mean, we can make this as unsafe as possible, and then it's more scary than fun.
Yeah, I agree. That course was like, I think the thing that made it most dangerous was how chunky the ground was because like if that hill were smooth and like the run out was smooth, I would have no problem like launching off of the top of it, like going into it, you know, like if it was like, I hate to say it, but like if that hill was made out of like wooden mega ramp style, of, like wood, I would feel super comfortable full speed launching off of it because I know what to expect with the landing, with the ground, the smoothness. I know how to bail on that. And with the dirt and like the chunk, you can't see it. It can change from race to race. And so there's so many, there's so many unexpected things that make it more dangerous. So yeah, I know it's still new too. Like, everyone's still trying to figure out like the best plan of action, you could say, for the events, for the races. So I think it's good to start, going gnarly to see how far should we take it, and let's maybe not cross that line and maybe just, reach the line, So
I think there's
of course we're changing, like every race, it was like different.
Literally, someone just put that in the chat. That's funny.
Yeah.
That it was changing after every run.
You never really plan lines, because as soon as you do, your line's gone. It's chunky now.
Kind of genius.
Yeah, it's a little bit like snowboard racing. The longer the day goes on and the weather shifts, your line that at the beginning in the sun was fast, in the shade is now too dangerous because it's faster, because it's froze now, right? It is part of the elements of being outside in races, is that it doesn't stay the same throughout the day. Even the sunlight has something to do with how you can mob those things. The shadows play tricks on you as you go down. Those are the things I think people that are just watching, have never stepped foot in trails or any competitive environment, have no idea those things are at play. And you guys made it look so easy and fun, and to hear how gnarly it was, you guys made it look like it was very comfortable for you guys, and that's why you're pros and we're Joes over here. We scale for life. So thank you for doing what you guys do and making it fun. You guys are awesome. So cool.
Yeah, thank you for doing these podcasts, because these are pretty fun to watch too.
Yeah, it's super fun.
It's fun to have everybody on. It really is. Just getting to know people and stuff. So we've enjoyed it. Thank you for saying yes.
I think it's good. You get insight of like
For
people that you would never even think, like us racing, which is like, I'm sure people have a bunch of questions about like the course and what it's like for racing. So yeah, I appreciate a lot, of like just like getting my mind into the world. I want to do it.
That's
Let me
awesome.
tell you everything I know.
Yeah, because
That's
as much
so
as
great.
you guys make it look like fun, right, and you guys have the chill vibe,
It's not.
you also are
easy.
you're pros because you're putting work in.
Yeah.
for
You're
sure.
looking at lines. Like you just said, Kyle, if it was this kind of material I was landing on, I know how that will respond, so therefore I know how to fall. That's what makes you guys so great, is you know how to take the one wheel and know what it's going to ride like on pavement, to wood, to plastic, all those things, and that's what makes it fun to watch. And thanks for making it look easy. It's just, I no wonder why One Wheel brought you out to film you guys, because you guys are just awesome. I mean,
You have a great vibe.
we're cheering you on from Minnesota. Now, are you guys going?
Yeah, that's true.
Are you guys going to the next race, which is Oak Fest? Is that right?
No, we can't make it to that one. We'll be at Dirt Surfers next.
Yeah, Dirt Surfers
No,
is
well-
the next one.
Yeah. It goes that, then Dirt Surfers.
Sweet.
That's where we'll see you and your cat.
Yeah, I can't.
I know.
I'll try to bring.
Don't bring your cat. That's a joke.
try.
That's a
She's so
joke.
sweet.
No.
She's so sweet.
I'm just joking.
Want to?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, but
She really will try to see if she can bring him for sure. We'll see.
I am definitely already looking into it. So
Do you guys like travel with like in an RV? Do you come with where you're staying? All that?
No, we usually normally we're driving, and we'll usually get an Airbnb somewhere. Normally, Ricky here will get an Airbnb, and we'll stay with him at these events, and we'll just, have a bunch of people stay there. And
I think this
hang
year
out.
Dirt Surfers were staying at the hotel that's on the site,
Yeah,
Statue Inn or Statue
that's
something.
what we'll be doing this time.
So we'll be
Awesome.
there on the site, not camping on site, or I think previously we were just getting Airbnbs.
Yeah, we had Airbnbs there, but we were like driving to the site every morning. So we're gonna do it differently. See if we can stay at the venue somehow. So
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
that would be
I'm
sweet.
excited for that. We were talking about with some of the riders how all these races are. It's fun how all these races are. The racing aspect is set up differently. Like this Let It Ride, it was split into 2 days, which is new. So we did a lot of the like bracket races the day before, and then just the finals on Sunday. Dirt surfer is how you're just kind of like hitting it throughout the day, and you just kind of go do your time trial whenever. They're all just set up differently, so it's not like you're getting not like a routine experience. Like, oh, I'm gonna go race again. Like it's a completely different experience every time you do another event.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And different people are showing up at different places, right? Those that can't drive from the Midwest all the way out to California for the events or Las Vegas, that's a bit of an easier spot for them to get to is Arkansas. So you get different groups of people, different racers show up. And so that's what makes it fun as well as a spectator to go, oh, we're going to see who's racing. We're having our own little game in-house here of picking who we think's going to podium and stuff throughout the races, but we don't know who's racing. So it's always a guess. Unless we've interviewed them, we don't know who's going to show up. Like we didn't even have Raquel on our radar last week to pick her. And so you find out, oh, that person showed up and raced and blew my bracket all to pieces. So I think Kyle, you not podium blew my bracket to pieces. Thank you for that. I'm now probably losing in here.
I chose the first two.
I hope Holly or Lily won a bunch of money from that.
Yeah, I think it came down to the loser has to wash the other two people's cars.
Right.
And so.
Oh, there you go.
No, I'd rather give them money. I would.
The cat tattoo.
The cat tattoo. And it comes back.
Oh my God.
Someone earlier in the chat was shouting, cat.
Yeah, Kyle's going to show up with a tattoo gun.
Awesome.
And he's going, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'll tattoo the.
I have a cat
She's
tattoo.
got a cat tat.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you do. That's big.
I have a bunch of birds on this arm. All the states birds I've lived in.
Get your birds.
Yeah. One's an eagle, so I feel like my eagle on here snatches your cat. See how it's like.
goodness
No, that
me.
eagle's it's a hairless cat on my arm, so it's gonna think that's lunch.
Yeah. So that's why I made sure I put a predator bird over here, not some Pamby songbird. Okay, guys, it has been a pleasure to catch up with the two of you.
You guys are the best.
You
So
really
fun.
are.
Can we get the fun one more time?
The fun tattoo.
Oh, the fun.
Let's go.
That's so awesome right there. My boys are in studio today doing all, and they're just laughing. They're waving it.
They're waving back, but you can't see them. You can throw yourselves on there.
Legend has a friend who 3D printed him rings of letters. Since his friend. So until he can get tattoos, I said to Holly, I was like, "Hey, what would you feel like if one day I just brought them home with tattooed letters on their fingers?
All
would you
three
be
of
okay
you
with
need
it?"
to have it.
And Holly was like, I don't think that's going to happen. I go, but what if it did? Maybe this is me asking for permission to see, like, where, not permission, but
That's
informing
not how we
you.
roll.
Yeah, like, what would she say?
And
What would you-
I don't
what
think
would
she
you
was-
do.
I just said, well, it's probably something we would have already discussed. Like,
So that's the discussion.
So-
Yeah,
that was the
that's her saying,
discussion.
I think-
and he was like, if they just show up with them, I was like, well, yeah, I'm a very realist type of person.
She
They
hates the
can't
what if
just
game.
show up because they're not old enough. So one of us has to know about it, or they're being deceitful.
I
Yeah.
say all three of you need to get the finger tats.
Who?
You and
And
the
your
boys.
Yeah, I'm all down
together.
for it. I just can't decide what I want. I just
I
can't.
gotta say, it definitely. I sat on it for probably a whole year before.
Yeah,
I
that's
really
good.
Actually, put it on my fingers. Words are a lot more, I think, harder to sit with than like an image of something because words are very definite and. Like,
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it is, and an image is like it can mean a lot of different things to you and to other people. So, and it can just
Yeah.
be beautiful to look at. Whereas words, it's like those are straight up like that's full send, like
Yeah.
this is. There's nothing. It doesn't
Nothing
say
else.
anything else except fun,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like so that those words, mean something to me and to everyone else. Like I'm not even sure what they mean to other people, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah, I hope my boys are listening to that because every day right now they're changing the words that they like on there.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
definitely important.
What do
you
they got in their mind right now?
one wants dues paid. They like Legend likes dues paid. Epic has Live. Is it Live Epic?
Live loud.
Live Epic.
Live Epic. What?
Oh, that is cool.
Live Epic is cool because that's his name.
Right, and so it's
And
it
just
goes.
live looks cool. You're like, just live.
Yeah, so he's going either way. He's going. I said, I go, what's that mean? He goes, well, I want people to know to live epic, and then I want to remind myself to live epic.
And then Legend with dues paid, he can just always remember to pay his bills when you're an adult.
Or no,
Just be prepared. Just be prepared to get Legend. Just be prepared to get all the comments, the unsolicited comments, because they'll come.
Yeah.
People still give me comments too about my fingers being tattooed, but you know what I tell them? It was a full send moment.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, people.
Then they're probably like, okay, I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah, they're just like,
Yeah.
That's why I got them tattooed on my fingers and you didn't.
They're starting to go, Martha, where's the kids at? Because this guy is, let's bring him close, Martha. That guy's crazy.
Martha, the imaginary mom.
Well, yeah, Martha. It could have been a Karen,
Sure,
but
it
that
could've been a
seems too
Karen.
close for people.
I think it's perfect.
Martha feels like, Martha feels like that kind of woman that would be a little bit like, ooh,
I'm gonna walk away
she's
now.
scary, or he's scary.
Yeah.
He has tattoos.
Keep your kids close.
Yes, indeed.
Martha. I can't do that's tattoos. That's a gangster.
Yeah, see, Kyle knows exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I feel like
Martha
Kyle and I are on the same
impression.
page.
I totally think.
I think you are on the same page.
Okay, so but before we send you off, this is where we landed after the finger tattoos for the kids. I was like, well, let's just get ear piercing gun, and we'll just get, because Legend wants his ears pierced. I go, instead of the tattoos, we'll just pierce their Epic wants his ears pierced. So I was like, we'll just pierce their ears, and then the girls in the house were like, yeah, I want to double pierce my ears. And so then they were like, Dad, is your ears double pierced? I was like, yeah, it is. And I threw in another earring, and like, what? Mom, Dad has a double earrings. Can I? That was kind of
your
So
dad
did you
wears
get
more
the
jewelry
gun?
than your mom.
I do.
Yes.
Did we get the gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on its way. It's
Great.
really cheap.
I want to do some.
Like, I looked at that, I was like, it's so much cheaper to buy the gun than to go pay someone to do it. I was like, wait, I can do this anytime for anyone?
Yeah.
For less money than to pay somebody to do it?
I just
Get the
did with a needle.
Yeah. Yeah, I suggested that, but the children also, I one time suggested ripping their teeth out with a drone, and they remember that experience, and it didn't go the best. I mean, it went good, but like, you know, you're like,
Grabbing up my teeth.
yeah, I'm talking to
The dental hygienist is cringing.
Try that?
Yeah, hooked a fishing line to their tooth, and then you got the drone right on front. We're going 3, 2, 1. I'm going to rip it like away
it
from
work?
you, not up. Yeah, blood everywhere.
Is there a video?
Like gums. It doesn't. Gum comes with it. I'm just telling you, it's not as
Ew,
clean.
That's disgusting.
as-
You look, guys. You said no injuries on the podcast today. And
This has
here
nothing to
we
do-
are.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about blood.
He said no 30 minutes
I had
of
to
injury.
know, all right?
I feel like if it's accumulated.
It worked. The tooth has got to be really loose. It can't be like just I think it's wiggly. It's got to be about ready to come out.
And the child has to be extremely brave.
Yeah. Yeah. We've done.
Jackass, the movie, or well, not the movie, but one of the guys, they tied his loose tooth to a Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah.
And they pulled it out that way. Have you heard that?
Yeah, actually, I saw it.
Yeah, his skull like fractured from the root going up.
That's because it wasn't loose. You said loose. It was an adult tooth. It wasn't.
That's right.
Yeah, it's an adult. Like,
He's an adult.
That's bad.
a lot different.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't loose. It was
That
just.
just about made me vomit.
No.
Yeah, that's gross.
Oh, but you know what? It's so many
I'm
things.
Sorry, I didn't.
What is it about when the five of us get together? It
know.
defaults to bodily harm. Anything in Jackass though.
It's because Kyle has full scent tattooed
Yeah.
on his hands.
Yes. Yes.
Been in many of circumstances of bodily injury.
Yeah.
And here
so
you are.
For 17 years, I did a lot of different kind of events in front of high school and middle schoolers, and so we filmed videos like Jackass to show. Like I got in the ring with a WWF wrestler at the time, remember, before it was like WWE. I went in their practice cage and let them throw me around. They knocked me out twice and broke my foot.
It was awesome.
And then we played in front of everybody.
awesome.
Oh, it's legit. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
You know, I thought wrestling was a joke. Savannah Slim was his name. He was 550 some pounds. And he
That's
is.
not slim.
That's not slim.
No. He threw me across the ring. I hit
it
the
was
ropes,
Savannah
and as he
Rose
threw
Slim.
me, he said, "Stay put." I didn't know how I could keep my body against ropes that were made out of rubber, so I bounced back at him, and he threw his arm like this, and I hit it with my chest. Did a 360 in the air, land on the back. I am blacked out, but I can hear him. He is now running at me, and then I watched the video where he runs at me, and then he jumps a full send, arm spread in the air, and lands right on me.
Oh, man.
I'm
You're
almost
in it.
thankful that Onewheels were not around when we were in
We're
our
doing
20s.
these things. Oh, man. We got a great idea one time we filmed. We were like, this BPA stuff, riding bulls. Let's just go to a farmer's place and just get on a bull and see how long we can stay on a bull.
Yeah, dude, bulls are so dangerous.
Oh, man.
They created our own chute.
We made a
like,
chute and everything.
So the bulls were just so mad. It was like they're wrapped with like rope instead of like
That's just stupid.
Yeah. I felt like I'd gotten in a car accident after that one because I just got flipped.
Did you ride a bull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 seconds was the goal. I made it. I grabbed its fur because I didn't have any. I was just holding on and just like going everywhere. Oh, man.
That's ridiculous.
Our slogan was,
So once you get off, they have to like get the bull away from you. Is there someone? There
Yeah,
to
how
help
does
you
it
once
not
you-
step on you?
oh, yeah, it was pandemonium because no one wanted to be in there. So the bull, like we didn't have to put any ropes or anything like they do in the BPA. I think they put a rope around its hind legs to make it really angry. These things were just mad.
they were just ready to go.
And so when we jumped off, they kept going away from us. They didn't come back to us. And so then it was a mad dash out of there. Our slogan was dumb as we want to be so you didn't have to be. And we just did dumb stuff. Okay.
I might have to steal
Have
that
fun
slogan
doing
there,
it.
Scott. That's what you're doing.
yeah. You can take it. You can take it. If somebody did a
This
deep
is all pre-YouTube.
Yeah, but it sits on here. Somebody did
for
a
sure.
deep dive on my YouTube channel. We dropped them on there when we started the YouTube channel long ago. We just put them on there, and they just sit there.
Dude, I'm bad. I might have to do
I
a
know.
deep dive.
Yeah. I think we did. I think we have baby bulls that we did it as well. So like that's the one that sits on our YouTube channel. Our baby.
Yeah, they
cows.
were younger ones.
Like
they were
when we say younger, they're still like 1,000 pounds.
something like that.
Yeah,
Nonetheless.
it's so mad.
Okay. We just derailed from
Please
everything
keep
because
going.
you are so fun to talk to you. We'll let you get back to your regular scheduled program wherever you guys were doing there. Go pet your silky kitty cat for us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That purr is almost too good.
Yeah.
I know, that
Weird.
was-
I was like, weirdly good. You do need a cat tattoo. Wouldn't
No, I own a cat. And
it be so funny if he got a cat tattoo and then he's just like, and he just like, I can't even do it. Yeah, like that. You want to see my cat put it on Scott.
No.
You want
right here?
You want to see? He'll be like, you want to see my cat tattoo?
No.
Pet it, and then someone will pet it, and he'll just go.
You're just jacked up.
We gotta
Hey.
make this happen, Allie and Kyle. we
Hold
have
on,
to
hold
make
on.
this happen.
On tattoos, have you guys ever gone to
Here we go.
another third world country that would not have seen tattoos on people very much? Have you ever had this experience? So like I've been to the Amazon jungle 7 times. And it's quite an experience. You just go up the Amazon to these tribes that rarely see another human being besides their tribe. And what they do is they try to pick your tattoo off. They can't understand the
How
I think
tattoo.
like painted on. or
Yeah.
something,
And so they keep grabbing it like this. And I remember the first time that happened to me, my arm was swollen and stinging because they had
they were
touched
like,
it.
Really? They were like,
Yes.
What is this source?
I couldn't figure it out.
You're like, how is it?
That's so cool. You got that experience, though.
How do you do this?
Go hang out with some tribes in the Amazonian.
It was very
jungle.
cool.
It was very cool. It was very, very cool. It was definitely life-changing for sure to be in those environments that if you even mentioned a one, they couldn't even understand a concept of a one wheel. They don't even
Bring
have
it out
electricity.
there. I wonder if they'd learn how to.
Yeah, but you would have to bring a generator. There's nothing out
there's
there. I
nothing
mean,
there.
you are. Like, you know what we would travel with is we would bring tennis balls. And they thought that was the coolest thing ever because here's a ball that can bounce on their dirt. Because they don't have concrete or
That's
anything.
so cool.
And so we would bring hundreds of tennis balls and just give it to the tribe. So
That's awesome.
Such an easy thing to bring and like so much joy for them.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like it makes it like where you and I, we get disgruntled if our Wi-Fi is slow, and here they are satisfied with a tennis ball. So
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
It makes you put into perspective like what
it does.
really
It does. It does. What we should do is figure out how to do a trip, the 5 of us, into the Amazon and film it. That'd be awesome. Do you know how cool that take Onewheels with a little generator to a tribe?
Yes, that'd be so cool. And then
That'd be awesome.
have them be like, what the heck, and try it. And then
Oh, this video would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
and we bring them all kinds of American foods that we think might shock them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would be shocked. Well, you know what shocks them? It's like, and you can easily take it, is anything packaged. Like,
Yeah.
Like
Prepackaged.
applesauce
anything.
in a package.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yes.
what? Like a candy bar to them is like, what? Skittles. They cannot even
can't
understand a
understand it,
Skittle
yeah.
because there's nothing in their mind that gets them to, how did you make this candy? Because they...
That's so
sweet
crazy.
for them too. Like
Very,
super
yeah.
sweet.
Well, but they only know like sugary stuff from the actual sugar
Yeah.
from the
Hey.
plant. Yeah, it's not into a form of process. It's
Good.
yeah. Now is going in from the U.S. like you have to be careful what you eat because they clean it all in the Amazon, and that's how you and I get sick. And so, like, you want to be adventurous, but that'll get you sick. And so now all of a sudden you're kind of eating your protein bars and stuff. And they get it. They know that they love to eat fish where they just cleaned it, put it over an open fire, and then just start eating it. But you and I, we would get...
Their body's used to that. I feel like
Yes.
they'd get sick eating our prepackaged foods.
They do?
Yeah, maybe.
But you know what? That sickness is not... Because it's not a parasite. Like, when you get a parasite...
That's just like a
bad
Their
deal.
bodies
tummy ache
like,
or something.
fight that off. They're like
Yeah.
evolved to fight off certain
Yeah,
viruses.
Or they're
water.
just I don't know how it works, but I do know I saw it all play out. It's gnarly when one of your
that's awesome.
one of the people traveling with you decides, no, I want to eat how they're eating, and then they're puking
They're
for
in
the next 7 days and end up in a hospital down there, which is not a hospital
Yeah.
to you. Like
not.
their hospital is just a bed with a net over it, and that's about it, and somebody's watching you. So this podcast is taking a drastic...
Yeah, right? We just completely
we
changed
talk
anything.
about a lot of stuff on here.
I know, that's kind of the idea of a podcast, though. People get to know everybody.
Yeah,
So,
I love it.
okay.
We appreciate you guys.
We'll see you at Dirt Surfers then.
You guys do.
See you guys.
See ya.
Adios. Everybody else watching, thank you so much for staying the extended version of the podcast today. Some amazing human beings with us.
That was
Oh, man.
fun. They're great.
My cheeks are hurting from smiling all of the last hour and a half, catching up with the events this past week and stuff. So make sure you tune in next week where we're going to have Jack Mudd in here from Onewheel. It's going to be pretty spectacular to have him and pick his brain and just check in with him and see what his likes and dislikes are. So I hope everyone is doing fabulous where you are. Thanks for being involved in the chat all day today. You guys are awesome. And I'll think about that tattoo. I'm not going to get it. That's how fast I thought about it. It was
Well
a tough
done.
one,
Thanks
but
for
I
thinking about it.
processed through that in front of all of you. And unless Allie and Kyle convince me otherwise, it's not happening. Okay, everybody.
Bye,
Have a good day.
everybody.
Adios.